Hello and welcome to this edition of Eat Right with Rouses. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us as we welcome in our favorite dietitian. April, are you there? Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
Oh, wow. Welcome.
I just got back from Rouses. I was shopping.
Oh, my. By the time we started, you went to Rouses and came right back. Man, that was easy.
That's right. We're shopping for Frozen Food Month today.
All right.
March is National Frozen Food Month. So We're going to show you like a little grocery haul, what I got in my bag. So you ready to see, Keith?
I am ready. Show me.
All right. So the first thing I'm going to show you is frozen meal, which is called Rayo's Meals. And what I love about this is that frozen foods make it very, very convenient. They have some really good options and you want to look for, your lower sodium options whenever you're looking for those frozen meals. And this is one that fits that category.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you some other things about frozen foods, why choosing frozen foods in the Rouse's frozen aisle. And that's because, at this time of year, we're thinking about, okay, how can we get some convenient foods that maybe don't take us as long to cook, but also are still healthy for us. And so that's where things like this, like even the frozen fish comes into play, like this barramundi frozen fish that we have at Rouse's in the seafood department. And what you could do is you could peruse the store and look for those frozen items. And not only that, frozen foods have a longer shelf life. And so whenever you buy them frozen, you put them in the freezer and then you could use them at your convenience. This is another example of one of those convenient options. It's a picked sweet vegetable. This is one of my favorites because it's 3 peppers and onion blend. There are so many different types of vegetable blends. And so you can look for the different kinds. But something like this goes in almost any dish that you're cooking, especially a lot of our Cajun dishes that we love down here in South Louisiana. Another thing that we can find in the Rouse's frozen food section is one of my favorites. You have to get this in every shopping trip. Is going to be some frozen fruits. This is a mixed fruit right here. What's great about it is you can use the frozen fruit in things like smoothies and your baked goods, but you can also just let it thaw and then mix it around, have a little fruit salad as well. One of my favorite parts about frozen foods is you can find some really unique things in the frozen food section. And this is one, if you like hash browns, this is something that is really unique, and it is called Strong Roots zucchini hash browns. It's made from zucchini, and we know that zucchini is a lower carb option. So if you're watching your carb intake and you're looking for a lower carb option for hash browns, these are some really great options. You can put that in your air fryer or put it in the oven or cook it on the stovetop. And I have another one to show you, Keith, is a lot of people don't realize something that they can find in the frozen food section at Rouse's is going to be some different types of breads. Now, if you have to freeze the bread and leave it in the freezer, it's probably not going to have as many preservatives and things in it. So a lot of times you can find like sprouted bread, or you can find like whole grain breads and things in that frozen food section. So it's not just on the fresh section that's by the milk and the other options, but also in frozen foods. And this is one called Rouses that you can find at Rouse's as well. So there are so many different options. And so you can look for a lot of the unique varieties. You can look for convenient options. And you can also look for meals that taste fresh, but were frozen. So it's a super easy way to make a meal.
Well, listen, I got to tell you, every time we get bread, we put it in the refrigerator. But I love the option of being able to go to the frozen section at Rouse's and get some of that Rudy's bread that's already frozen. It can go right into the freezer, and then we can pull it out and eat it and use it as we can. And so that's a great option, so I appreciate that. But I got to tell you, the fruits, and that we keep in those different bags. I love the assorted fruits because when we do our juice cleanse, and my wife and I do a juice cleanse pretty often, we use those fruits to put into our smoothies for that 3-day cleanse that we do, and it's a perfect amount. Exactly what we need for a smoothie each day is a perfect amount, so it really makes a difference. And then I got to tell you, some of the options that we have with the peppers and the onions, to be able to do something that easy, for you to be able to have to go and chop all of that up, buy those fresh, chop them up when you have them right there. And there's a misconception that frozen foods are not as nutritious, but they really very often are just as nutritious, and very often they're more ripened. Is that right?
They really are. They're vine ripened oftentimes. They're very, very fresh, and they're flash frozen. And so it's a really convenient way. And that's what I think about, Keith, too. If I want to buy this fresh, and of course, you can always encourage people, get a mixture of fresh options, frozen options, and also canned options across Rouses. But if I buy this fresh, then I need to wash, peel, and chop it. And whenever you find the frozen options, then you can also have those in the freezer ready to go whenever you're cooking in a hurry, and you need something just really super convenient and affordable as well.
Well, I love the fact that you can brown bag it right there from Rouses, all of your frozen stuff. You can come in and show up on Eat Right with Rouses, coming in with your frozen stuff and all of these great recommendations for a full meal, for things to be able to cook with, for bread to be able to have on hand. It's just, and snack options with the fruit as well. As always, we really appreciate the time and energy that you go through to find these great options for us at Rouses.
Oh, thank you so much, Keith. It's my pleasure.
All right, we appreciate it. All right, guys, and that will do it for this particular segment of Eat Right with Rouses. But don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming right here on HTV.